I give all praise to Allah, the supreme law of the universe. I give all honor to all true and divine prophets, Jesus and Muhammad, Buddha and Confucius, Noble Drew Ali, and Morihei Ueshiba. I give honor to my family for all the support they've shown me for the time that I was in the dismal crypts. I give honor to my own immediate family, to my unborn daughter, for she represents my future. Today I'm going to be talking about what law governs the stars. Now, by the stars, I mean specifically the zodiac, from Aries to Pisces. It is well documented that the masters of all times and climes knew this law, knew this science, the science of the stars. When you study the ancient cuneiform tablets of ancient Sumeria and ancient Babylon, the stories that they tell about Anu, Enki, Enlil, Ninti, these are stories about the stars. These are stories about advanced intelligence coming to this planet. These are stories about ultimately the destiny of man. Now, what does this science have to do with spirituality? It is to be remembered that true spirituality is simply the law, the supreme law of the universe, that we as human beings translate as we reap what we sow. Some of the most complex questions of human nature can be answered by this law. But first, let's talk about the background of the stars, what people call astrology. It is generally believed that the stars influence human behavior. So that if you're born under Aries, you're born with certain characteristics. If you're born under Taurus, you're born with certain characteristics, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, so on and so forth. While this is true, real astrology is very scientific. True astrology, when a natal chart is cast for a person, it is cast for that specific individual. And this is why there are three factors that govern a true chart. Those three factors are date, time, and location. To do an accurate chart on a human being, you need to know the date they were born. You need to know the time they were born. And you need to know where they were born. For these three factors are broken down into mathematics. And through the mathematics, using the rules of astronomy, we come up with a chart of the individual, because we're using longitudes, latitudes, etc., to get a precise point, a precise moment in the stars when that spirit was conceived in the womb of its mother. That's true astrology before I go any further. And this is the type of astrology that I'm talking about today. Not the astrology that you read about in the newspapers. Not the astrology that puts all human beings, all Aries in one category. All Pisces in one category. Because as you well know from your own personal experience, you can know two Tauruses and they be two totally, completely different individuals. And that's because true astrology is mathematical and it's individual. Now, what were these great sages studying when they studied the natal chart of a human being? What they're studying is not only when this person is born and the life that this person is destined to live. What they're studying also is the evolutionary journey of that soul. Because astrology gets so deep, the mathematics get so deep, that you can mathematically trace that soul backward through the ages, through the time. And this is why, in order to have a true foundation in astrology, you have to accept the law of rebirth, meaning we've been here plenty of times before. And mathematically, all true astrologers can demonstrate that. And this is what the masters in them ancient temples were studying when they were studying these individual souls. So if someone was born blind, there was no reason for a true master to shake his fist to the stars and say, God screwed me. The true master knows why a person is blind. It wasn't just a mishap of nature. It wasn't God just choosing to make a person blind. No, we reap what we sow. A violation occurred somewhere along the journey of that soul that warranted that person being blind. All defects of a human being are the undeveloped portions of the soul. And or energy that person has not been able to control yet. Because the law is harmonious. So whenever we act outside of that, we incur the retribution, and justly so. This is the law that governs the star. It is still, we reap what we sow. And in order to truly appreciate what I'm sharing with you today is, you have to get into the study of the star, especially the mathematics. Because what I'm telling you, I'm not just standing here running my mouth. What I'm sharing with you can be demonstrated. And the best way to get involved with the study of the stars in order to confirm for yourself that the journey of the zodiac is governed by the law of the universe, the supreme law, do a chart on yourself. Because most people will be interested in their own chart than someone else's. But take that journey. Learn the calculation. Learn how to trace the moon back. Learn how to trace the sun back. Learn them degrees. Learn them minutes. Learn them seconds. Learn them years. Learn the latitudes and the longitudes. Learn the sextiles, the square, the trine, the opposition. Learn all of these things. And when you get into the mathematics of it, you're going to see how all of your strengths and your weaknesses can be found. You can find them, trace it back. That's why the Master Jesus, he said, backward through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves, and thus they know. We don't simply know who we are because God just spoke to us. Real masters are scientific. We can prove where we came from. And we can prove it in Allah's universal language. And that language is mathematics. So remember, when you're standing on your square, you can see all four corners. So when you learn mathematics of astrology, the mathematics that governs astrology, you can see all four corners of your evolutionary journey. Nothing is missed. And in that way, you will know why you're this way or you're that way, and why you have certain ailments and things like that, why you have your talents, why you have your strengths. Yes, a lot of DNA play a lot of in that. But the fact of the matter is, as an individual soul, the universe used your parents as a gateway to get you into this world so that you can ultimately fulfill your destiny. So yes, while your parents play a role genetically in some of the attributes that you have, those parents were given the duty of your soul so that ultimately you can fulfill your destiny. So you needed their DNA, you needed their genetics. So when the question was asked to me, what governs astrology? How does astrology tie into the laws of the universe? This is how. Astrology is going to show you not just the present life, but your past ones as well. And in India, they got one word for it. They call it karma.